Hello, everybody. This is Mike the Biz, aka B Tech Reviews Mike, and we got Mill Hustles in the house. How's it going, Mill Hustles?
What's up?
What's up? Today is September 21st, 2023, and we have definitely a lot of wrestling news to talk about. So we are live currently on the B Tech channel and I believe the Scorpion Deathlock channel. So I'm simulcasting right now. For those of you guys who haven't subscribed to the wrestling channel that like my tech channel and are into wrestling, check it out. Subscribe to that one. It's called the Scorpion Deathlock Podcast. We have around 23 subscribers sitting right now. So let's make that 24 tonight. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So a lot of news in wrestling today. Obviously, with the Endeavor / WWE merger, aka TKO, we have what we didn't really want to happen. Well, maybe we expected this to happen, right? But a slew of layoffs for the WWE today, and these were all talents. So we're going to go over that list in today's podcast. And thanks to Mill Hustles here, he went ahead and sent me the full list here. So we'll go ahead and get started with that. Let me go ahead and do a quick share so we can get that on the screen for you guys.
Hold on, bro. Did you say all talents?
No, I said the whole list of talents.
Well, we got to rephrase that, bro.
Yeah.
Because some of them have talent and some are people that were just wrestlers.
Some of them were just there for a paycheck. So we'll go ahead.
Some of them, I have no idea who they were.
Right. Some of them were just strangers to us. So let me go ahead and get into that really quick. And let me see if there's anybody in the chat tonight. Most likely not. It says we got a few people watching. So if you guys are joining in, smash that like button. Chime in on the chat. Let us know if you guys are disappointed in any of the people on this list, right? I am taking this list from WrestleOps from Twitter, but most of the day I was following Fightful and Sean Ross Sapp from Fightful. He was posting on that and Sportscadia. Right, your favorite wrestling journalist over here. So
Nah, I'm just kidding. Sean Ross Sapp. The reason I don't really like him is because I sent him a scoop once about referee Tim White. Okay. Because there was a rumor that spread a couple years ago that I think he was hospitalized or died. He did pass away eventually, but before that, he was hospitalized or some shit like that. Yeah. And I actually know Tim White and have him on Facebook, and he said he was fine. And of course, he put that out. This was before Fightful became what it is now. Yeah. I didn't get credit for it.
Wow. That sucks. That sucks. Let's see.
Yeah.
So let's. That sucks. Sorry, no comment there though. I can't really comment on what happened with you and your buddy Sean Ross Sapp. But now, most of the information I got from him today. So that's what I was forwarding.
Oh no, he's very dependable on a lot of stuff. And yes. Shout out to his partner in crime, Denise Salcedo.
Sounds good. I'm not too familiar with her, but I should check because I know he does live streams also and stuff like that also on YouTube. So
Denise has a pretty big wrestling channel. She's a big wrestling fan, especially of the modern stuff. She gets attacked for no reason.
I don't
know why, but
I think any female that is trying to critique wrestling, especially in 2023, is going to get a lot of heat for, and there's no reason for that. Honestly.
She doesn't really criticize wrestling.
Yeah.
But she's very honestly, I wish I loved wrestling like she did. I used to back in the day, but I feel like she's such a super fan that they attack her for literally no reason. I can't figure it out. And she's also worked in the business herself. She's done interviews backstage for WWE.
Oh wow.
So she's actually been in the game. So, but she's not going to pay attention to their crap.
Very sad to hear, but so let's go ahead and go over the list here, and we'll make comments on who was important, who wasn't, and I'll start at the top. Right, Mustafa Ali was one of the initial headliners for today that was released, which for me that was a little bit of a shocker because I believe he was announced to have a wrestling match in like a week and a half versus Dominic Mysterio for the NXT North American Championship. So that kind of just confused everybody. But I also was reading like reports that he actually requested his release also. So I don't know if that just they were just granting to him, what he was asking or not. I don't know. What are your comments on that, Mil?
I mean, he tried to get released last year, the year before, and he was on Twitter talking about they won't let me go, whatever.
Yeah.
What I read was that match with Dominic was actually gonna get moved to Raw next week.
Oh wow!
And then whoever was supposed to face Dominic before was gonna get him on Saturday.
Okay, so then maybe there were some complications with that because obviously I don't think Dom was going to drop the title to Mustafa Ali, and pretty much they've had the guy losing for the past like 3 years. I think he maybe won one match over the last year. I don't even recall, but I remember he did win. He did have like a clean pinfall versus somebody, and it just went over our heads, and it happened. They were trying to kind of rebrand him as the guy that was Positive Ali,
So let me tell you, what I heard happened in the creative meeting when they said that they let go of Mustafa and plans need to change. Michael P.S. Hayes?
Yep. Everyone knows who Michael Hayes is.
He said, Mustafa Ali, he's still here?
Right. I'm sure a lot of people thought that, but if he was there at that creative meeting and Mustafa Ali was there, then he probably pissed him off big time.
Honestly, Mustafa Ali would be great, like in the UK or Japan.
Yeah,
I think so. I mean, I know I said earlier that he should just get a job.
Yes. So my comment, so my thoughts on Ali were, I don't know what he was doing before, his WWE involvement. I remember vaguely seeing him in I don't know if you watched the Cruiserweight Classic years back when they were hosting that on, when NXT was still on the WWE network. So they brought in guys from all over, people that were signed, people that weren't, people that just kind of came in and came out. He was one of those guys from what I remember. And then, of course, he was kind of one of the main guys on the 205 Live brand when that was still going on after they decided, hey, we're going to give, WWE a Cruiserweight championship. And for me, it was like, I didn't not like him. I just, I never really was invested in any of his feuds or his characters to begin with. I think the only thing that I really remember from him was when he put in that faction with a few of those other guys like T-Bar and Mace or Mace, I guess, I forget what they were called. Retribution, I think that was their name. I think that was probably the most in as far as on-screen time that they gave him, to try to do something with it, and it just really didn't work out. Never really held any championships to my knowledge. I think he was I don't think he was a tag champion. If anything, he was probably just like I don't know, who wasn't the North American champion in NXT. I think he might have had a small stint as like U.S. champion for like a day or something. I don't even remember that, honestly. I don't think they pushed him for IC. Like he had glimmers of like brightness, like they put him in the spotlight, and I kind of commend WWE for doing that because first of all, like he's definitely not what a guy like Vince McMahon would want as a top guy. Obviously, I don't want to get too I guess into like his ethnicity or anything like that, right? That shouldn't really have to do anything with it, but he I guess comes from an Arab background, obviously, so who knows, maybe that could have stunted some of his in-ring popularity with the American crowd, at least. I know when they went to Saudi Arabia this last go around, they kind of did like vignette about him since he's again, I don't know exactly where he's from or whatever, but they kind of showcased him and like guys like Sami Zayn and whatnot that are from like the that type of Arabic background and whatnot. But yeah,
speaking of the Cruiserweight Classic, I wonder whatever happened to Alejandro Sais. That guy was good.
You would have to show me a picture of that guy because I don't even remember, honestly. I don't remember
from
like
Texas.
Yeah,
but he's of Chilean descent. I don't know if I'm saying that wrong, but a big fan of that guy.
Yeah, he must have been one of the guys that got knocked out of the tournament early, most likely, because like I mean, it wasn't like a huge ass tournament or anything like that. But anyways, thoughts on Ali? You know, sad to see him go. Right? You know, I mean, in ring, I didn't have an issue with him. The guy was very solid, considering I think the guy was apparently a cop or something like that. He was a cop or a firefighter before he got into wrestling. So you know, shout out to him for doing it and for being in WWE as long. Like honestly, anyone that can say that they were in WWE for more than like a few years, you know, you're one of the top wrestlers in the world when you're in WWE, like hands down. So even if they're not showcasing you, so. The next person on the list, and you know, I don't know if you're going to care to talk about this person, Emma. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, Emma?
Sad. Emma's a very, very nice person.
Mm-hmm.
She was actually very underrated. That girl can wrestle.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She's been through some shit during her career.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of sad to see her go. But
yeah,
hopefully we'll see her in Impact or in Ring of Honor, where she had some pretty decent, you know, programs.
Yeah, I never really saw her outside of the WWE, I guess, spherical, whatever you want to call it. I recall seeing her, I don't know if did she do Ring of Honor at one point by any chance also?
Yeah, she was there for like 2 years.
Yeah, so I remember watching her like in a match in Ring of Honor, I think. I don't know if it was before or after she left the first time. You know, I followed her NXT stuff. You know, I think when they debuted her on the main roster also, it was kind of weird, but you know, I think they had her with Santino from what I remember, right? Originally, or she was with somebody. Was it Santino Maria?
I don't remember.
I believe so, because like she was doing like she even at one point had like that snake. So she's been kind of back and forth. You know, she was been on in the WWE system for a while already, from what I remember. Since pretty much like the 2014, 2013 era with like Bayley and Sasha Banks and all those, she was kind of a part of that class. So, you know, I never really had issues with her as far as her wrestling abilities. I think her original gimmick, she kind of had like some sort of goofier gimmick, kind of worked for her, but like, you know, in today's modern era, it didn't really stick. And, you know, she left, or they released her around COVID time. That she came back, obviously, right? I think Triple H, once he took over creative last year, he decided to bring back a few names that, you know, maybe he liked and wanted to see develop a little bit better in, you know, today's market. But she had a few decent matches. You know, I think she ended up fighting against Ronda Rousey at one point when Rousey was the women's champion. You know, didn't really do much. Was kind of just showcased here and there. You know, random tag matches or eliminator matches, whatever. I didn't really, you know, again, it didn't stick. You know, I think the only good thing that came from her coming back was she found the love of her life, obviously, with her, you know, future husband, who is also on this list, by the way. We'll go ahead and skip that. We'll
you want to hear something crazy though?
Sure. What's up?
She posted on Instagram how excited that they're going to have a Elimination Chamber event in Australia.
Correct.
In February 2024. And she's like, "Oh, this is a dream."
Yep.
And this was 13 hours ago. And then like 2 hours later, she's like, "I'm no longer with WWE."
Yeah. No, yeah, that's completely correct. You know, she was just like, "Never mind, I'm not with the company anymore."
And what's his name proposed to her like 3 months ago.
Yeah, so, you know, even though they've been off of air, you know, and that's because Madcap or Riddick Moss, whatever you want to call him, he was you know, he had a pretty good year last year. You know, they kind of showcased him a lot on SmackDown, considering, you know, this was, again, more around the time when Triple H took over. I want to say late summer, around SummerSlam. He had a few spotlights, you know, had matches for like the Intercontinental title. I think, I'm not 100% sure. I don't know if I don't think he had a world title shot, but I think he did get to fight against probably one or two people in the Bloodline. Here, let me send.
And that's too bad, because I thought Madcap had a good look. Yeah. I thought he could have, you know, he was starting to find his place on the mic. I thought he could have, you know, he had potential.
Yeah, I know before he had his absence, I think there was some sort of injury with him, though. I'm not sure what put him on the shelf exactly, but he had been hurt a couple months back also. I don't remember how long ago it was, but, you know, I mean, you know,
when they cut that thing with Baron Corbin short, he got injured.
Yeah, so pretty much, again, you know, his character was starting to develop. You know, I think they brought back the Riddick name. That was his original, I think, NXT name. The guy had a great look. You know, I think he could have lost. I think he could have lost the ponytail, though. That's just my opinion, though. Whatever, you know. But yeah, he had a very good physique. I think better than most of the roster, at least. You know, I wouldn't say he could have been like the next John Cena, right? But definitely, you know, he had the look for it. And in ring wise, you know, he wasn't super. It wasn't super solid, but it was good enough. You know, it was like Miz good. It was like Miz good. You know, where you know you can tolerate him, and he would have only gotten better over time, honestly. You know.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm not super sad that he's gone. You know, especially because you know they really haven't showcased him or Emma over the past couple of months. They both have been pretty gone. They got engaged though, so you know who knows where they'll end up. You know, I say that Emma probably ends up back in Impact Wrestling, right? And maybe
he might join her.
He might follow. Yeah, so who knows? I mean, you know, this is just the beginning for those two also.
And congrats to them for getting engaged, even though the ugliest thing a beautiful woman can do in a picture is have a man in it. But that's beside the point. I digress.
Yeah. Yeah. So aside from those two being released, right, we kind of skipped a little forward with Madcap Moss or whatever. Rick Boogs, your favorite guitar player,
aka Freddie Mercury on
Freddie, yeah,
meets Hulk.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean,
I liked him. I know people used to knock him, but I felt like I never heard. I don't ever remember hearing him do a promo. But I think that gimmick, like especially with old rock fans, if it would have been developed correctly, and this is me talking from a fan standpoint, I think that could have been big.
No, hold on. Let me see if I can get this fixed here. I agree. I think he was pretty over with the crowd as far as that goes. There you go. We'll leave it like that. You can be the big square on the bottom.
Well, I'm not a square.
You're a big square. So yeah, pretty much. I believe that he. I'm blanking out here. You know, his little stint with Nakamura. It was fun to watch. I enjoyed that, right? And even before that, I think I saw a little bit of him here and there in NXT. We got Borganta in the house. Borganta, welcome in. Smash that like button if you guys are joining in. And please, if you're not watching, watch on the Scorpion Deathlock channel instead of the B-Tech channel, man. I appreciate that if you do. But anyways, yeah, you know, he was a guy that was very good in the background skits also. I enjoyed that. As well. Oh, we got another person in the chat here, Miss Isabel. How's it going? Welcome to the chat. So pretty much, you know, he was a guy that I mean, they had him in commercials. Like I don't know if you paid attention to like those cricket commercials that were going on. I think they were cricket. And then he was recently in one of those Snicker commercials, if I'm not correct, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I don't know if you watched the last PLE, right? But they you know they were pushing this Snicker protein bar. So I don't know if they're still you know promoting that or not. But in any case, you know he was a very good actor. You know I think he did a good job doing what he did. Wrestling wise, you know, like you said, he was like the Freddie Mercury Hulk version. But again, I don't know. I feel like they just didn't really give him a chance. You know,
he was also in the Old Spice commercial.
Yeah, he did Old Spice. He did a few commercials for WWE, and that's saying something to me. That says something that you have character, and that you know they're paying attention to you on what you can do. Maybe not in the ring, right, but at least outside of the ring with your promos and everything like that. So I really enjoyed it. He was a funny guy, also. Like he was just fun to watch. So. You know, maybe it'll be temporary. Maybe we'll see him back again very soon, right? You know, we know with this merger that they did have to make cuts, and you know they had to make some tough choices, obviously, right? So in any case, Rick Boogs, man, I want to go and play his little guitar version of Shinsuke Nakamura's music over here. So let's see. Next person on the list, and we want to walk with him, right? Maybe we want to walk away from him, perhaps, is Elias. So,
what about Aaliyah?
Aaliyah? Well, Elias was next on the list. Oh, did I? Oh, you know, I skipped Aaliyah. Oh,
I have no idea who she is. So next,
next, I'll go over Aaliyah really quick. So Aaliyah, she pretty much was an NXT talent that again was from the era of Bayley and Charlotte Flair and Sasha Banks. She never really got a call up until probably I think 2021, late 2021, right, where they finally started utilizing her on SmackDown. I think she won the tag championships with Raquel Rodriguez, aka Miss 956 over here. From Rio Grande Valley, Texas. And and she got hurt. Unfortunately, I think she had an injury, or they had to drop the titles. And then they just never brought her back. She recovered from what I know, and that's it. I mean, they didn't really do anything. She does hold the record for having, I think, one of the shortest matches or something like that. Or I think she pinned Charlotte in like 3 minutes and 17 seconds, something like that. There was some sort of like tournament going where like Charlotte was doing like a challenge, and she was like, "You can't pin me in 5 minutes," and she pinned her in 3 minutes. So there's that. She didn't, again, aside from the tag team championships for the female
3
division.
seconds. It was 3 seconds.
Was it 3 seconds? I don't even remember. It was
I'm just trying to figure out who it was against.
I think it was Charlotte Flair, if I'm not correct on that. If it's not her, it was somebody else, but I want to say it was Charlotte Flair. So,
and this is like the first time I hear about this. I don't even remember this happening.
Yeah, no, it did happen. Believe me, it happened. It happened, like you said, 3 seconds. So, again, extremely quick. And her career kind of just came and went, but she was there for a good like 7-8 years, also, from what I remember. Like I said, she's been there since like that time. Her NXT run was a little bit longer. She had been kind of plagued with injuries going back and forth. Borganta, again, get involved in the chat if you guys are into wrestling. Again, I don't know if anyone here watches wrestling, right? But big news. All of these people were fired. They were fired or released from their contracts today from WWE. So we're just kind of going over that. The next person on the list has a lot of money. He's top dollar, and that's it.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I kind of want to show. There was a stupid tweet of the botch that he did, on Twitter or whatever, or X, whatever you want to call it,
Twitter.
Going around. Yeah, I think there was a video of him going around on that. I want to see if I can find it, where he's like does that nasty botch where he's like trying to do like a dive out of the ring, and it just didn't work out, and they ended up firing him because of it. Oh, that Stevie Richards video is still up, by the way, or at least it's a small clip. So we might want to show that later. Let's see if I can find this top dollar clip really quick while we're waiting. Choo-choo. Okay, maybe not. I'm not finding it. I'm just seeing a bunch of Sean Ross Sapp over here. Kind of sad, but that's okay, I guess. All right, that's all right.
Dude,
you know what up?
Top dollar, man. That guy wrestled like he had 2 left feet.
Yeah,
agreed.
Like
there's a saying in the business where you're a great person, you got great personality, but sometimes so the bell has to ring,
Yeah. No, yeah, that's true, and for him, like, I just don't think it ever struck it. He never put 2 and 2 together in the ring. The guy was a big guy, though. Okay, I can't find this video, so I'm gonna
and that shit, like, these days, that matters.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s, it didn't really matter that much, but that matters now.
Yeah, honestly, I don't even know how a guy like him got it. Yeah, no, I don't know how a guy like him got his call up, just because. I mean, the size and the look was kind of there, but the rest of that was just not. I think
he was a cool host on that Treasure Hunt show.
Treasure Hunt, you say? Okay, hold on. What the heck? Oh, well, there we go. Let me fix that really quick. Treasure Hunt. Let's see. You're talking about Big Brother, or what is it called? Lost? I don't even know, honestly. I don't really.
No, WWE Treasure Hunt, where they went around people's houses and.
Oh, okay. When they're looking for like the old school WWE stuff, that like
the rare stuff.
That was him. That was the host of that. I didn't even realize that. Yeah. Okay, that's pretty funny. Well, anyways, so his career kind of left and came, and it just it is what it was.
He'd been released.
They had been released around the COVID time, I think, when it was the whole group, from what I remember. Like they, I think they had a stint the first time where I think Swerve had gotten called up, and I think they all had went with him, and then they all just got released one after the other.
And I thought B-Fab has she has a little bit of charisma. She hasn't been released yet. I feel like there's going to be more releases tomorrow.
Most likely, yeah. Okay, hold on. Morganta's asking, have you tried anything wrestling games for the PS5 or Xbox? So, no, I haven't tried the new WWE 2K23 game. I won't play the AEW game just because it's AEW and nothing to me for that. It seems very good. So I'm just gonna stick with WWE games. I have not, but I do want to get WWE 2K23. Maybe if it goes on sale, I'll get it and I'll play it. Maybe
I
I'll
would
live
like to
stream.
try the AEW game just because it has the engine of No Mercy.
Oh gosh. Well, you can get it on clearance at GameStop for the Nintendo Switch for like $10, I think.
Wow,
So,
for real?
Yeah, it's already on clearance from what I've heard.
Wow.
So. But or at least that's what I was seen. But anyways,
I heard that game was plagued.
Yeah.
With just bad shit.
Yeah, no, for sure. So, and a lot of people like talked about it for one day, and that was it. Like, no one was satisfied with that. Okay, next person on the list besides Top Dollar, which no one cared about, and this is probably one of the bigger names that goes into the list, is Shelton Benjamin, the gold standard.
AEW would be smart to pick him up to be a coach.
Yeah.
Because that guy, he's like the Black Lance Storm to me. Where they're not, super charismatic, but they can go in the ring really good.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I mean, the guy's been wrestling for a really long time. He's pretty much the same class of Brock Lesnar, John Cena, Randy Orton.
They also did, for those that don't know, amateur wrestling together. So they knew each other before pro wrestling.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar and Shelton Benjamin I think they were facing each other in college from what I heard or from what I was hearing in another interview. They were like two of their top, I guess, guys in the country.
NCAA stuff. And, it must be in the water, but Minnesota has produced a lot of great wrestlers.
Yeah. Yep. It must be that Salt Lake City or whatever you want to call it. I don't even know if that's
I mean,
Utah.
could you imagine? Could you imagine if Shelton Benjamin was from the 956? He would have never made it in WWE.
I think they didn't. I don't even think they had amateur wrestling programs. Oh, actually, no, they did. I think they had started it when I was in high school in the early 2000s. But he's a little bit older. I think Benjamin's in his early 40s.
Hold up. Breaking news.
Okay.
You
want to send me a link?
Mike has been released from HEB.
What?
So y'all are getting some budget cuts too.
I guess I'm gonna have to take my talents to Walmart or Target.
It says here that some people have refused to be booked in other departments.
Oh my god!
So they're getting released.
What a hater!
You've been future endeavored.
Oh my god! Future TKO'd over here. I hate the fact that the merger name is TKO because it has the name TK in it, and I'm not a fan of TK, if you guys know what I mean. But anyways, besides that sudden big news that Mill Hustle's just shared, Shelton Benjamin, he's pretty much done it all in the industry. He's faced some of the best guys in the ring, guys like Shawn Michaels, guys like Chris Jericho, from older talent to newer talent. Had a very good amateur background wrestling, career as well. Has left WWE in the past, has come back, has held multiple championships. He's been IC champion. He's been United States champion. He's been tag team champion multiple times. Never got the big one, unfortunately. He never won the main title. I think that's something that WWE kind of dropped the ball in because he did have a good look, right? But I think, like you said earlier, he just didn't have he did not have the charisma.
He'd been there a while during the second run, but 4 or 5 years. I remember he was supposed to come back sooner, but right before he signed, he had to have shoulder surgery, so they had to wait.
Yeah, they waited on that. I remember that. And I think he's been back since pre-COVID. I think it was 2018. It was around the same time that Bobby Lashley had returned also. For being there another 5 years, after he had his stints in other, arenas like Impact Wrestling. I think he did Impact Wrestling.
He did, and Ring of Honor.
And Ring of Honor. So I don't know.
I don't know if he was in Impact. I know he was in Ring of Honor for a long time.
Maybe he did Ring of Honor. Yeah. But regardless, right? The guy, you can't complain about him. The guy did his job, and he did it well. you know, whatever they put him to do, he did his best, right? You know, I don't think, you know, I think he, you know, you can compare him to guys that never won the big championship, right? But you know, he had a lot of accolades in the business, right? And he got to wrestle some of the best. So, you know, again, shout out to him. I would love to see him in AEW, but not as a coach. I would love to see him as a wrestler, at least, you know, maybe as a final run, you know, give him the freaking world title, you know, let's right some wrongs here. Right?
I mean, you know what? If he gets hired there, good for him. But seriously, there's like 3 or 4 wrestlers there that would actually have a good match with him. I mean, I know he'll make other guys look good, but it's like,
imagine seeing him versus like Kenny Omega, like, or guys like Alistair, or not Alistair, but Malachi Black, you know, stuff like that. I would love to see matches like that.
Okay.
Okay.
But nah, like, I don't know. I mean, for the money, I'd go, but as long as Tiny Khan Kane has that book, it's not going to be special that long.
Yeah, you know, give him a 1 or 2 year contract, right? You know, see how it does. Like, you know, I don't believe in these long term like 3-year contracts that they give them, you know, or that went right out of the gate, right? I think a lot of those wrestlers, when they started the company, he gave everyone like 3-year contracts, and a lot of those people he hasn't renewed for obvious reasons, right? But in this case, you know, Benjamin's got a pretty solid background in the industry. He knows how to wrestle. He knows how to fucking do his shit. Just see what he can do and run with it, right? Or put him on Collision, put him on Rampage, make Rampage a little more interesting, if you know what I mean.
He was never, as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
When it comes to Wikipedia and wrestling, that's pretty accurate. But it says I don't see him ever being in Impact. He might go there.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe he'll have one little last run there. You know, I think he's already up there in the age where, you know, he might decide to put up the boots already, because I mean, yeah, that's already what, a 20-year career pretty much in the books already. I think they've been wrestling since like what, 01 or 02. So I mean, since Orton and since Cena came in. So
yeah, he was part of that class.
He was part of that class. So, and like I said, it sucks that he never got to win the big one, but regardless. Anyways, let's move on to the next one, which is probably, I would say, probably the biggest one on the list as far as accolades go. And that would be Dolph Ziggler. It should have been me.
Another great wrestler.
Yeah.
Good promo. Make a great coach. Same thing.
Yeah, and the guy could still go if he wanted to. Like, he was in WWE for 19 years, guys.
I hope he saved his money.
Yeah, no, I'm sure he did. I'm sure he made a lot of money, especially in those house shows, dude. And believe me, every time I went to a WWE house show, he was always here, man. So, you know, I never once complained about a match with Dolph Ziggler, right? As far as his in-ring ability goes, you know, his gimmick changed over the years a couple times. It was more of you know, it could have been a little cringe at times, but you know, for the most part, you know, I think he had one of the loudest pops when he cashed in his Money in the Bank contract against, I believe it was Alberto Del Rio, if I'm not correct on that. You know, back when he was with Big E, when Big E was just like a sidekick. And when AJ Lee, yeah. So this is before AJ Lee like really got like super, like, I guess, over. I mean, she was already over, right? But I'm talking about, like, you know, like women's champion, this isn't that, right? You know, I think she you know, became more popular after that run.
Honestly, AJ, nobody, like, I know we talked about her a couple streams ago, but going back to AJ Lee, bro, no wrestler, no women's wrestler during her time there had more charisma or personality than her.
Yeah. No, I agree, and you know, I enjoyed her promos. I enjoyed the in-ring work, even though she was a stick, man, compared to a lot of the other women. You know, the Bella Twins made her look small.
She was tiny. Yeah, she was
tiny.
Little,
you know, she was a little
pretty
tiny,
petite. I wonder
she's very petite,
who's bigger out of her and Selena Vega.
I think AJ Lee has she's taller, but they're probably around the same, honestly, as far as like how petite they are. But anyways,
did you know that Selena Vega has to sit on someone's shoulders like a child so she doesn't get stepped on?
She is tiny.
No.
She's got to get on Rey Mysterio's shoulders so that they can see her when they're going out in their entrance. LOL. Check out Morganta over here mentioning T-Mobile. T-Mobile was compromised again with a quarterly data breach. That is not a shock to me. That's why I left T-Mobile also, because I didn't want my
terrible mobile. Who do you have now?
Terrible mobile. I'm with Invisible.
Visible, B-U-L-L.
Invisible, yeah. Invisible. So let's see.
By the way, this video is not sponsored by Visible. So yeah. Back to the wrestling talk.
For sure. So what was I saying again? Ads getting
we were talking about we were comparing Zelina Vega to AJ Lee.
Oh yeah, she's tiny. I mean, they're both tiny, right? I think the only thing is one has implants and the other one doesn't. So
no comment.
No comment there. But anyways, going back to Ziggy Smalls, I did see a tweet floating around with all of his accomplishments. And I'll try to remember them just right off the top of my head. But let's see if I can just look for him and that way I can screen share it.
Honestly, I'm not surprised that he stayed so long. I mean, imagine you barely have to work and they keep renewing you.
Yeah,
I wouldn't leave either.
For sure. So here are his accolades, right? 19 years with the company, 1,554 TV matches. That does not include house shows, right? And believe me, this guy was working those house shows all the time. I remember, I can at least say I've seen him more than 10 times as far as going to those house shows. 2-time World Heavyweight Champion, right? 1-time NXT Champion, which was fairly recent. That was in the last year. 6-time Intercontinental Champion. So he is up there as far as most title reigns for the IC Championship. I think Jericho has 9. The Miz has 7 or 8, I believe. And I think he was like right below him. 2-time United States Champion, 4-time Tag Champion, and a 1-time Money in the Bank winner. So pretty much minus the Royal Rumble, because he never won a Rumble. He pretty much accomplished everything that you can accomplish in WWE. Pretty much a Grand Slam champion.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, this
US
is
champ, IC champ, NXT champ, World champ,
and this was
champ, Money in the Bank.
Yeah. So this
most
guy
losses.
I don't say about most losses. That would have to go to what's his face, Zack Ryder's old tag team partner, Curtis or Kurt Hawkins, or maybe I don't know. I don't know who has
Jinder Mahal.
Jinder Mahal, maybe that might go to him, but from a guy that came from the Spirit Squad, okay, the Spirit Squad, like I never thought that he would have such kind of a storied career, such a long longevity. I really thought he was going to get released in 2020 when they were firing all of those other talents. He ended up staying. He ended up lasting an extra 3 years, right? And was he in any type of main feuds? No, he wasn't, but he was there to fill in gaps when they needed him to. He was a very solid worker. I think I remember watching an interview. I don't recall if it was with like Sami Zayn or somebody else. Maybe it was like Chris Jericho, where they mentioned him. And they mentioned how good of a worker he is in the ring, because they know that he's a safe worker. And, again, he knows how to put people over, right, in the ring.
He's a great seller.
He knows how to fucking sell. Yeah. Not a lot of people can do that. And he can sell like it's nobody's business.
He has really good ring psychology.
Yeah.
And that is so rare these days. He has really good ring psychology. I mean, sometimes he oversells a little bit. But he's crisp, man.
Yeah.
And he would make a great coach. I wouldn't mind having someone like that train me.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And you never know. Maybe he'll come back to WWE in some sort of capacity, a few years from now.
Yeah,
he's still young,
the last time we saw him. I don't think it's the last time we see him.
I mean, I don't think he's done with his in-ring career. I think he's going to maybe take a little time off, explore his options. I definitely don't think he's going to retire anytime soon, though. I mean, he's in great shape, and the guy's never really been seriously injured. Like, how many times have you heard, Dolph Ziggler's out with injury? Exactly. Yeah. He's one of those guys that was very, he was in a lot of high level matches, whether it be like Elimination Chamber or whatever, He was never in any Hell in a Cell matches, but he's been in some, some pretty risky matches, and the guy never got hurt. So hey, kudos to him. Again, probably the top guy with the top accolades on this list. So pretty interesting. Let's go ahead and remove that from the screen there. Morganti,
I'll tell you what.
What's that?
When he took spears from people like Rhino, Roman, he made them look good.
Yeah.
Like he understands that it's not just the person delivering the move, it's also the person receiving it. So
yeah,
kudos to him.
Yeah, no, shout out to him, man. I mean, again, hopefully, maybe you never know. Maybe we'll see him in the AEW. I think his brother might still be with AEW. That Ryan Namath guy, I think that's his name.
Yeah. And I'm going to give you a rare fact about Dolph Ziggler. I think he's the only person. Today I was trying to think, and I couldn't think of anyone else. I think he's the only person to have taken a spear from like the spear goats, all 4 of them, including Goldberg.
Really?
Yeah.
So that would be what? Rhino, Goldberg, I guess Edge and Roman Reigns. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. That's like 4 different eras of wrestling also, if you think about it. Even John Cena put out a tweet for him, giving him a shout out. I guess I'll go ahead and share that really quick also. This is, I don't know if they tagged in this match, but he just put 1,554 matches, and then he just put respect, right? And I think that's what the business is all about, respect. So, again, kudos to him. I was trying to see if I could find any like other strange accolades, on Twitter, because I searched his name. Of course, we're seeing a bunch of clips of him on here. Let's see there. I know they show the win over him and Alberto Del Rio. Let's see, the most complete wrestler you'll ever get, 19 years. I guess I can share this clip. I don't think Chris Van Vliet is going to take this away from me, or
he's gonna smile at you until you're uncomfortable. Then he'll take.
He's gonna demonetize. What's that? What were you gonna say?
You hear me?
Yeah. What were you gonna say?
He's gonna smile at you until you're uncomfortable, and then you're gonna take it down.
All right. Hopefully not. This is directly from the X episode, so let's see what he says.
What's the thing that you're most proud of over the 19-year career?
The money.
The money.
Like, it's crazy. No, most proud of, I think it's this Cal Ripken-esque thing, and also not being a total douche after 19 years of like 90% losses. I feel like I have this thing that where even right now, I could open a show against a local guy. I could be in the intermission match for the IC title, and nobody would blink an eye.
Yep.
And I could be in the main event if someone got hurt tomorrow, and they go, he's not going to win. But man, this is going to be the hell. This is going to steal the show. And to be able to do that with so few days off in 19 years, I'm very proud of it.
What is the thing that you're most proud of?
See, that's pretty cool to say. And that's kind of true. He was one of those guys that you can put at the head of the show or in the main event. And not a lot of people were going to complain about that. So it's pretty interesting. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, that's definitely, if you're safe enough,
Yeah.
you can go on really, really long runs without taking time off.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. All right, here we go. Now, do I want to share this? WWE's going to take me down. They're going to take my video down. Oh, wow. Okay, hold on. Sorry. Let's see. He has 685 wins in WWE, 38 pay-per-view wins. He's a 2-time world champion. Okay, I already went over that. That's pretty good, though, having 38 pay-per-view wins. I mean, how many people can say that over their career? Even though, like he said, he's lost 90% of his matches, he still has won a lot of the big ones. So, all right. I guess we'll move on to the next person on the list. I'm going to stop marking out for this guy over here. Next person on the list, Dana Brooke. I don't even know if you know who Dana Brooke is.
Yeah,
okay.
I think she was a good enhancement talent too.
Yeah, I mean, I followed her career from NXT to the main roster. I remember when she was like Charlotte Flair's lapdog, or little sidekick for a little while.
I remember I used to confuse her with Liv Morgan.
Yeah,
I was like, wait a minute, who's who?
Well, I mean, I can tell you there's 2 things that would differentiate her from Liv Morgan. I'll tell you that much right now. But anyways, besides the blonde hair is what I mean. But she was a very good talent as far as she was never really something to gawk at in the ring. I think I really didn't appreciate what she did in the ring, I guess. But she wasn't a horrible wrestler. I think she had a few little mini pipe bombs here and there where she would say, "Oh, well, they don't give us a chance, this and that," right? She had the 24/7 championship for a small stint. I think she's probably the longest reigning female 24/7 championship. So there's that. There's her accolade in the company. And the fact that she was just there for a pretty long time, I would say about 7 or 8 years also. Or, I guess even you could say she was kind of part of that, Sasha Banks and Mercedes.
Who's the current world HEB weight champion?
That would be me, dog.
So they acknowledge you.
They acknowledge me every time I go into
store?
work. Every store, they know who I am. Pretty well in my region. I could probably go to every HEB and I would at least know 1 or 2 people. I think just because I've worked for so long that I've worked with like a lot of top store leadership also, or just people that moved on and got into higher positions, and or different departments, whatever, and that ended up transferring. But I would say I am the tribal chief of HEB in the RGV. Okay, so. But yeah, Dana Brooke,
Mr. HEB, like Mr. Monday Night.
Yeah, so I think she's one of those talents that should have gotten released back in 2020, but she kind of overstayed her welcome a little bit. But, kudos to WWE for keeping her that long. Again, she was more of an enhancement talent. You
should tell your manager to sign her to HEB.
Oh, my God. Yeah, sure. I'm sure she'll want to come to the RGV where there's nothing for her in the Valley. So. But anyways, again, she overstayed her welcome, and I think, it was time for her to go. I don't think there was anything going on with her. They probably could have sent her back to NXT, and they still wouldn't have done anything with her. She was never an NXT Women's Champion. They really didn't put any, I guess, stock in her. So there's that. So she had a good look, though. I mean, and I think she was a former gymnastic person. She was a gymnast, I believe, or a weightlifter or something like that. So she did have some sort of background as far as like fitness go. I think she like Alexa Bliss, they were like how do you say, they would do like swimsuit competitions and stuff like that, so they were buff. So next person on the list, we got about, let's see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 more people on the list here. So we'll do both of these since they were technically a tag team towards the end. Mansoor and Massey, aka
Mansoor. I thought it was Mansoor.
Well, it's Mansoor, but I guess their last shtick was with the top models, or their little modeling thing with Max Dupree and Maxine Dupree, aka
whatever happened to Max Dupree? Did he get released too?
No, Max Dupree is LA Knight.
I know. I was just trolling.
I'm like, you're confusing me here.
Nah, Max Dupree got released.
Yeah,
but
Max
LA
Dupree
Knight is still there. He took a hiatus.
Okay.
He does look a lot like LA Knight.
I think they're like brothers, like Elias and that other guy. I forget his name. Elias's brother. Forgot what his brother's name was, but anyways, we all walked away from Elias. So yeah, Mansoor and Mace or Massey, whatever you want to call him. Mace.
Wasn't Mace? Wait a minute. Which one was T-Bag?
T-Bar. I think that's Dijakovic. He's in NXT. I think they sent him back to NXT. Yeah, he was like a big, tall, white dude. But Mansoor
was too, wasn't he?
No, I don't think he was a part of what's his face's group. It was just Mason T-Bar, from what I remember.
Oh, okay.
Mansoor, though, they brought him in, I believe, because of I think he was in. I'm trying to remember how he was brought in. I remember it was like I don't remember if it was the Cruiserweight Classic. I think it might have been there. But again, he has that Saudi Arabia background. I think he's from that side of the world. I think he maybe won some sort of competition. So he won one of the Rumbles over there, I guess, because that's where he's from. So they kind of tried to give him the spotlight. Didn't really do much in NXT. Didn't really do a lot on the main roster other than, again, the male model stuff, I believe. And that's pretty much it. I mean, he had a few spots here and there, nothing too crazy. I think he was just kind of there to make, to have kind of like as an ambassador for their country, guys like him, guys like Jinder Mahal for India, right? Which I'm surprised we didn't see Jinder Mahal on that list today. But As far as Mace goes, Masay, the models, again, same thing. He had a small stint in NXT. He had a good look. He was a big dude. I think he was like 6'5", probably like close to 300 pounds. He was a big guy. But it sucks when you have guys like Braun Strowman. You have bigger guys that are there that are bigger than him.
Mace.
Yeah,
Mace. That whole Retribution group.
Mm-hmm.
They were pretty serious at first, and then they were just made a joke.
Yeah, like they kind of just killed it really quick, and I liked it at first, and then I was like, okay, with the whole Mustafa Ali thing, it just didn't stick, and I thought their outfits and gimmicks were cool. Mia Yim being a part of the group was kind of weird. I think I feel like they just included them, but the mask looked pretty cool. I think that looked pretty cool.
I'm surprised that she wasn't on the list.
I don't think so, because I think she's a part of that OC group with AJ Styles. So
okay, never mind.
Yeah, so she's currently even though she's not really doing anything right now, she had been released a while back, and then they brought her back again.
Speaking of Mia, whatever happened to Keith Lee?
He's an AEW dude,
but I haven't seen him. Has he been on TV?
They're not really using him. I think he had like a small backstage interview recently on Collision, which is their Saturday night show, but nothing really. They really haven't. He had a small feud with Swerve. Really haven't done much with him since he debuted there. And that's because like a lot of people were saying like he's gonna be the first Black AEW World Champion, this and that, but really like his character is just not really developed on the show. And he's just one of those other signees that TK just thought was going to be beneficial for the company, and it really hasn't been. He's kind of just there, you know what I mean? It does look like he's getting in a little bit better shape, though. It looks like he has dropped a little bit of weight, though. So, but yeah, going from Massey and Mansoor, I don't know. Did you have any comments on those two before I move on to the next few? And most of them are going to be NXT talents that I'm just going to breeze through because I don't know any of them.
Go ahead.
Okay, so, the next set of names, and I only know one of them. So we have Quincy Elliott, Dabba Kato, Shanky. I only know Shanky because he was on the main roster for a little bit doing his dances on SmackDown with Sandra Irvin. Yulisa Leon, I have no clue who that is. Daniel MacArthur, no clue. Bryson Montana, and Kevin Ventura Cortez. So... yeah, these were all NXT talents. Some of them
that was Commander Aziz.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was another guy that he's one of those unfortunate guys that they're just huge monsters.
Yeah.
But they're just I just guess that their bodies are built for other sports than wrestling. I just don't think that some of them are agile enough.
Yeah, they look like, I don't know, like boxers or football players or maybe not football players, but like you said, maybe their bodies are suited for other sports, and I remember seeing them vaguely, when they had when Shane McMahon brought in Raw Underground, and they were doing like those little backstage fighting skits, which was just like the dumbest crap ever. I think it was interesting, but it was like the dumbest crap ever. Like, what the hell is the point of this? Like, how are you elevating talent by doing this? Like, I think, we saw a few of them. I know that Shanky guy, I think he was like one of the bodyguards or something that was just kind of sitting out there with guys like Omos.
Didn't let go. Like I said, maybe tomorrow there's more releases.
Yeah, we're gonna see. It
didn't let go Omos.
I don't think so. I think that's one of Vince's guys. Honestly, I'd be surprised if
the thing about Omos though is Omos has the same problem that Giant Gonzalez had, as well as the Great Khali, where these guys are just absolutely enormous guys, and they'd make good attractions.
Yeah,
but like I said earlier, that bell has to ring.
Yeah, and I think the last stint that he had was at WrestleMania. I think he had maybe a match after that. I forget who he fought against. I know he had that match with Brock Lesnar, lost against Brock Lesnar. He pretty much lost to everyone. I think they put him up against Bobby Lashley. I think he had a stint with him also. But I'm just like, as far as Omos goes, I'm just not. I don't know. Like, if I was a kid, if I was like a 5-year-old kid and I was watching wrestling for the first time, or if I was sitting with my dad watching TV and I'd be like, who's that big dude? You know what I mean? and then just say, okay, like, you know, and then 10 years from now, though, you know, okay, like, oh, I remember when I was 5 years old and I got to see John Cena versus Omos, you know what I mean? But it's like, you know, it's like Hogan versus Andre. It's like, do you remember it because the match was good, or do you remember it just because of who he fought
The
against?
WrestleMania 3?
Yeah, you know what I
That
mean?
match was the shits,
Mm-hmm.
but the story
Mm-hmm.
behind it, the history between those two, I mean, that's the reason they sold 90,000 plus
Yeah.
tickets. That was a
Yeah.
huge attraction, but the match itself was like, it wasn't
Yeah.
good, but like really, like nobody really cared about that.
Yeah, but
You know,
that's
I
the thing,
mean,
though.
Ricky
What?
Steamboat versus Randy Savage,
Mhm.
you know, which was like 2 or 3 matches before that one, which turned out to be the show stealer, but nobody bought tickets like that to see those two. They went for
Yeah.
Hogan and Andre, you know. But the thing about it, are you comparing him to Andre?
You know, and you know, in some ways, I'm just kind of like a generational thing. I'm not saying, oh, like he's on this generation version of Andre, but you know, as far as like the size of the guy goes and like the spots that they've put him in, right? You know, of course,
Yeah.
I know Andre's always going to be like the top big guy in wrestling history. I don't think.
Well, yeah, and also Andre before that match, when Andre was in the 60s and 70s,
Mhm.
like that guy he was agile. He used to throw drop kicks and stuff.
Oh yeah.
The thing about it also is I feel like with a guy like Omos is they're trying to make him do shit he can't do.
Mhm.
I have yet to see someone that can mesh well with him.
Yeah.
I mean, when he attacked AJ Styles, when they split up,
Mhm.
like AJ is usually known for selling for someone to hide their weaknesses, and that even looked bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean, it really, you know, it really just depends on, I guess, like you say, the talent they put him up against, and right now it just hasn't really been anyone too gawking. I mean, Lesnar's probably been his biggest opponent up to date. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to say about Omos, but pretty much all of those other guys on the list don't mean anything to me because I don't pay attention to NXT anymore. I'm surprised we didn't see, and again, maybe we'll see some of these names tomorrow, but guys like Apollo Crews, who else? I don't know. Who do you think would be on the list if we saw someone released within the next 24 hours?
And you know, that's actually going pretty popular. I don't know. You mean like a couple predictions?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's hard to tell because I don't know a lot of these people.
Oh wow.
You know, I mean, they could get rid of Omos.
Mm-hmm.
They could get rid of Mia. You never know.
Yeah.
They could get rid. There's a lot of people that, you know.
I remember
seeing. We
yeah.
should ask the new company TKO to save some of those releases for AEW.
Right. You know, I could have swore I saw Tegan Knox's name on the list also. If I'm not too,
I read that somewhere that Tegan was supposed to get released. But someone said no.
Yeah, okay, because I remember sending something like that to a friend, and I was like, dude, they released Tegan Knox also. Not that that was a name that it was like, oh, top for me or anything like that, but I was just like, okay, like they released Tegan Knox also. So
no, not only that though. Like, do you remember how they got rid of Mandy?
Mandy Rose?
Yeah, like she just dropped the belt suddenly, and they got rid of her.
Yeah.
I think it was to Tegan, wasn't it?
Okay, hold on one second. No, she didn't drop the belt to Tegan. She dropped it to Roxanne Perez.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another 956er.
Well, she's from Laredo, right? Yeah, I guess that's a 956 area code. Yep.
Yeah. No. What I say though is
top dollar.
Oh, God.
Shit, bro. Hold on, I gotta play this. Just
like they just let her go. They had her drop the belt, and she was gone like the next day.
Yeah, but I mean, you know why though. Okay, let's see the small clip. Hopefully, WWE doesn't ban me.
What is Top Dollar thinking? I already don't like it. There is absolutely no way. You gotta be kidding me.
I love how like the talent around him still fall. Like if it did anything or not. It's too funny. Shit, bro. Okay, hold on 1 second. 1 second. Now I want to go back and look for the video of John Moxley's stint. You know what I mean? Or his fucking pile driver.
You know who I think is going to be released from WWE pretty soon? Vince McMahon.
Yeah, I mean that's another thing that had been going around. Also, I don't know if you want to talk about that while I'm looking for.
It's developing. I would say before another show, because I feel like by the time we do another show, we'll have a lot more information. But I feel I'll just be brief. Yeah, and it seems like they're worried about pressure from regulators because of his power, the amount of stock he owns, and then all the allegations of him, paying for booty, which is not against the law, but well, whatever.
Well, if he's using WWE's money to,
I'll tell you what though, if he was to
then
get left and he said, "Let me start another promotion," he wouldn't be able to for 5 years.
Wait, what? Can you repeat that one more time? I'm sorry, I blanked.
No, like he has a contract where like anyone that had high power on the WWE, let's say they get let go by the new group, Endeavor. If they get future endeavored, no pun intended, they can't do anything wrestling wise for 5 years.
Oh wow! Damn, that's a hardcore no compete contract clause, huh?
Yeah, but 5 years is nothing because Vince is going to outlive us anyways.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Stevie Richards, John Moxley. I'm trying to look for that Stevie Richards, John Moxley video. Let's see. Let's see if they didn't already take it down or not. Let's see. Because they might have. Still on YouTube, but who knows if they took down his YouTube video also. Okay, hold on. John Moxley falling on his head. Let me just type out John Moxley botched, and then we'll see how it goes. That looked bad, man, honestly. Okay, good thing people record on their phones. What the hell? Okay, hold on. I guess I'll play this one just because it looks a little bit better. But I think they end up playing music. So hold on 1 second. You still with me?
Yep.
Okay, so let's see if I can find it here. Let's play it back. Let's
acknowledge me.
Look at how bad this looks. Oh my god.
That's Stone Cold and Owen Hart again.
Yeah. But look at that. He couldn't get up. If you watch back, he's saying something to the ref. Watch. He said something right there. I think he was saying do it again or something, which why the hell would you ask him to do that again when he just knocked you out? Like, this pissed me off. Like, I thought the refs genuinely should have stopped the match right then and there. What do you think about that?
I mean, if this was in the WWE, that referee would have been fired.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you remember that incident that happened with Christian and I think Tajiri?
No, I don't remember, but you want to explain to me?
I know Christian was involved. I'm not 100% sure it was Tajiri, but he had a match, I think, on a SmackDown 10, 15 years ago, and he got potatoed. He got kicked, and Christian was legitimately knocked out.
Okay.
And he got pinned, and that was not supposed to be the finish of the match.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Right here, Rick Knox really exposed the wrestling business, because he should have kept counting.
Yeah.
A referee's supposed to count to keep, keep the, suspense, the disbelief suspended. So, I mean, that guy, man, has done a lot of really bad things in matches. He's like one of the worst referees I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But that was bad. Like I seen it, and I'm like, dude, keep fucking counting. You know?
Yeah, no, I mean, it looked bad. Okay, hold on. Let me turn off the chat overlay so we can make this a little bit bigger.
I mean, that's like you blatantly didn't count.
Yeah. Let's keep playing that video. Just again, I don't know how he gets up. Honestly, I mean, I think he woke up right away though, and I guess he was able to get up. And then this looked worse the second time, dude, because he got dropped. I feel like his head bounced the second time. So
No, like you know, I would tell Ray Phoenix, first of all,
look at that. Oh,
that's dangerous. He could have killed him.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I was Tony Khan, I would have a really stern talking to with Ray Phoenix.
Yeah.
I'd be like, Ray, don't do shit you can't do, that you don't know how to do. Okay.
Yeah.
Like this is probably going to get pile drivers banned from AEW. That's for one. Second of all, like I just don't get how you do something like this. Ray Phoenix I think he's a veteran. I mean, I didn't know him, you know, here. I know his partner, what's his name? Pentagon.
Yeah.
And Pentagon is one of the stiffest wrestlers there is. I'd never seen him do no shit like this.
Yeah. I mean, these guys are always getting hurt, though. Like,
I mean, I get it if it would have happened once because mistakes happen, but 2 times, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like you think it would have ended up better the second time. You know, he would have tucked his legs in, or maybe he would have leaned a little back. That way, his head,
time,
you know,
it was completely preventable. Like Rick Knox should have counted. When you are counting, you don't put your head down. You're looking as you count. The only time a referee looks down or away when they're doing a count is when they're part of the angle. Like they got attacked during the match, and when they do that, that's signaling the finish of the match.
Dude,
this was just horrible.
Yeah, like you can see his head like kind of compress into the ring, absorbing that shock, dude. And like it's blurry, it looks bad, and because it is bad, honestly. Like his neck is taking, and we really don't know like the severity of his injury, right? You know, I mean, apparently he was able to get up and walk it off, and you know. See,
the thing about it though is, it's like this could be another situation with Owen and Stone Cold, or he may have had a stinger. See, what's his name's was much worse.
Yeah,
Stone Cold's, because he was paralyzed for like 2 minutes, and that seems like an eternity.
Yeah,
but you know, he may have just suffered a stinger. Luckily, maybe a concussion. But this could progress, especially with the type of matches he has, to the point where he's going to have to get surgery on his neck, spine, or both. Yeah, he'll be out for a while.
This could be a career-ending thing, also. I mean, we don't know the severity of it. Like, I mean, I'm hoping that they're taking all the precautionary things that they need to do. Right? Hopefully, he's not just shaking it off and saying, "Oh, I feel okay. Just give me a couple aspirin and I'll be fine." You know. That's fucking serious, dude.
Let me read this tweet that sums it up perfectly. By somebody named She Slay Daily. AEW ref Rick Knox decided to protect the planned finish instead of protecting Jon Moxley.
Yeah.
He stopped the count and allowed the match to continue when Mox clearly got dropped on his head.
Yeah.
He needs to be suspended. This part I disagree with. I'm going to change suspended to released. He needs to be released immediately for his incompetence. Things like this can't happen.
Yeah, because I mean, imagine if he didn't get up, dude. It could have been way worse. Moxley could have died in the ring last night, and the fact that he didn't stop to check on him, or I mean, I guess the fact that Moxley said something to him that made it seem like it was okay for him to continue the match, but I don't think that he should have let that happen regardless, right? I think he should have, did his job to protect Moxley as best as he could as the talent. Stop the match for a couple minutes, see how he's doing. Okay, maybe try another finisher, but don't fucking drop the guy on his head again.
And not only that though, like there's no way that Jon Moxley was going to lose that match.
Yeah, he was supposed to. Obviously, everyone knows that he was supposed to win that match.
And even if he was going to lose the belt,
yeah,
don't drop the guy on his head.
Yeah, I think Phoenix has some other type of move, kind of like a it's like a kick. I think that's one of his moves also, where he does kind of like a karate kick or like a spinning kick as one of his main moves. I'm like, why the hell didn't he just do that, dude? Like, why not just fucking take, do that or something like that? Like, why the fuck do you have to fucking pile drive his ass? Like, I mean, essentially, this was supposed to probably be like a Michinoku driver. I think that's what it was supposed to be.
No, it looks more like a Rikishi driver. Like, I can't remember the real name. I can't remember the name of that pile driver.
Mm-hmm.
But it could have been done safely.
Yeah, like, and the thing is, Moxley's a bigger guy than Phoenix from the looks of it, so he definitely has more height. But again, like, you don't see him close his legs or try to, harbor the impact there for him. He just drives them straight to the ground, and that's the second time around. That's not the first time. The first time it was bad also. I think the first time was pretty bad also. Let's see. Okay, he pinned him. But this is the first time. Look, watch. He puts him on his shoulders. I have it on mute so we don't get copyrighted. Like, it looked like his head hit the ground much harder at this angle, but they don't really show replays of how he hit there. But you can tell he hit the back of his head on that first. And dude, like, honestly, like, he could have fucking, I don't know, he could have died from shit like that. I don't like to see shit like that, and that's why WWE banned the pile driver to begin with,
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know what the fuck AEW is thinking, right? Well, I think it's gonna end probably when someone's gonna fucking die in the ring eventually, in that promotion, whether it be Jon Moxley or Bryan Danielson's doing some fucking dumbass stunt, and I don't know what to say. I hope it doesn't happen, right? But someone's gonna get paralyzed or someone's gonna fucking break his neck and end up fucking dying from stupid shit that they're doing. So all I can say is TK needs to make the AEW a safer wrestling environment for their talent, because even their top guys are constantly getting hurt, dude. Bryan Danielson just came back and now look who's out. Fucking Jon Moxley's out. He's gonna be out. He's not gonna come back in like in a week or two. He's probably gonna be out for a minute. You know what I mean? And I don't know what to say there. So, but yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to mention. I don't know if you wanted to mention the whole Vinnie Mac, being kind of on fire as well, as far as what's happening with him and TKO.
Oh no, we already talked about it.
Yeah, we already talked about that. Okay.
But we would wait. I said we should wait till more develops, but it seems like this speculation is starting to grow. And apparently TKO told the SEC that, which is serious. The Securities something Commission, which is,
Yeah. So I guess we'll see how that goes. I mean, the more we hear about that, I guess, me and Mill Hustles, and maybe one of these days we'll get another guest on. Hopefully we can get Tito back on soon, man. Mr. Tito, if you're watching the replay on this, shout out to you, by the way. Let's see how he's doing. And CV Tech also. CV Tech. And shout out to Magic Tech as well, your favorite buddy there, Magic Tech Reviews.
Yes, sir. Well, he's in the chat?
No, I think I did a live stream a couple nights ago though on my main channel, and he like jumped in because he was like knocking on what I was promoting, because I was promoting some Amazon music free trial. So he was just like, Amazon LOL. I was like, okay, whatever. Whatever, Magic Tech, whatever. But he needs to get back on his live streams. He was doing pretty good for a little bit, and then he stopped again. So it is what it is, though. I mean, it's understandable with the hours he works, at least. So let's see. Again, all of these are just bad angles, man. Honestly, look at that. That was the fucking first hit, dude. That looked bad. Oh my god. Some people were saying that Jon Moxley was already concussed also, because apparently he like hit his head on one of the cameras apparently. So I don't know if that how or what happened there exactly. I didn't get to see this match. I was at work, but that looks bad. I mean, just watch that, guys. Like, I mean, when someone's head fucking bounces like that, that shouldn't happen. That should not happen. So, anyways, let me get out of here before I get copyrighted. Are you still there, Mr. Mills?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I thought I heard like you message in the private chat or something. I was like, what the hell?
No.
Anything else you want to add in, I guess, before we end the stream tonight?
Yeah, fire Rick Knox.
Fire Rick Knox. Yeah, I mean, again, you know, they really need to reevaluate what's happening in these matches and how these finishes should be played out. If you know a wrestler gets injured in a type of spot like that, even if it was the ending spot, right? You know, if the champion who's supposed to win is fucking hurt, stop the match. You know,
not only that though.
Yeah.
Like once the leg is hooked, you have to count. I mean,
Yeah.
the producers backstage will understand.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as you count, throw that X up immediately.
Yeah.
I don't know if that X is kayfabe or shoot, or it became shoot.
I think it became shoot, but it's still a universal symbol for this guy's fucking hurt, right? Regardless whether it's kayfabe or not. Especially for people that know about it, people that don't know. Okay, if you guys don't know what it is, when a wrestler or a referee does this, that they are indicating that they
it's
are
not
hurt.
CM Punk.
And CM Punk straight edge.
We're allegiance to CM Punk. What's with all these? Why are all these EMTs coming out here?
Let me get the tape. Let me get the tape for my wrists, and let me put X's on them. I'll do it. I'll do it one of these days for one of the streams.
No, don't put X's. Put HEB.
Oh my god!
Or put HEB, but make it into an X. You know?
Yeah, I'll put an X. I'll put HEB, and then I'll put an X over it, just because that'll be the signification that the HEB finally fired me or something like that. But yeah, man. I mean, for those that don't know, the X is a universal sign that the wrestler is hurt. You know, we haven't really seen a lot of it, obviously, right? That's something that should have happened last night. I mean, when I saw that clip, man, I knew right away that Moxley was out, dude. He was not moving at all. Like, yes, Phoenix set him up for the pin, but he looked like he had blacked out. And, you know, I think, you know, once that Knox guy started counting, you know, he finally came to, and he wasn't able to move. You know, when a guy fucking can't move his body like that, what does that tell you? You know what I mean? You shouldn't fucking set up another fucking spot again for that to happen, because again, he could have potentially made his injury worse, right? Or he could have fucking bled internally. He could have fucking damaged his brain damage, anything like that, man. So I don't know.
I'm just surprised that these referees. I don't know if he just froze because he was scared, and I'd understand that, or if he was told by whoever trained him, hey, you count until they kick out.
Yeah.
If they don't kick out, you keep counting. And, you know, circling back to what I said a couple minutes ago, if the referee's not looking at you because he was attacked, that's part of the angle. That's understandable.
Yeah.
Because that usually means it's the finish of the match.
Yep. Well, I guess we'll see what's up. I guess we'll see what other headlines are going to plague us this week in the wrestling world. And maybe me and Mill Hustles here will go live again this coming weekend. We'll see how that goes. I'm off Saturday, but Sunday I work in the early morning. So if anything goes down, maybe we'll have like a stream on Sunday night. But yeah, for the most part, a lot of news in wrestling today, and we got to cover pretty much what we wanted to talk about. Anything else that you wanted to maybe go over, my dog?
I think that's it. I know I sent you a list earlier, but I can't even remember what it was.
Yeah, no, pretty much well, I don't know. You want me to go back to that really quick?
No, that's fine. Yeah. We've been here an hour.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's already kind of past your bedtime already, man. Hey, we're getting old here.
All right,
we're getting old here. But anyways, guys, all right. I want to thank everyone who was in the chat tonight. Mostly just Morganta. My friend Isabel was in the chat, so shout out to her. Morganta, of course, talking about T-Mobile and asking about wrestling video games, which there's nothing wrong with that. Definitely, I'm streaming on my tech channel at the same time, so we got that going on. So, but anyways, guys, you guys have a great evening. Thanks again for watching. Smash that like button if you guys are on the repeat stream, and we'll see you guys next time.